Example 3. The profit that a vendor makes per day by selling X pretzels is given by the function P of X is equal to negative 0.002x squared plus 1.4x minus 400. Find the number of pretzels that must be sold to maximize profit. All right, so we have a quadratic function here. Okay, so when we look at it, the highest power of x in the whole thing is the second power. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the a, b, and c and what this function represents, meaning like how it works. So when we look at this, the a value is the number in front of x squared. So it's negative 0.002. The b value is the number in front of x. It is 1.4, and then c is the constant. It is negative 400. The a value is negative here, so this is going to be a downward opening parabola, okay? Which is good because when you read the question, we need to be finding a maximum, okay? So we're going to be after the vertex here, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the variables. Okay, so here we have an x. What does that represent? Remember, you're going to plug x in and get an output. That's p of x, which is y. We need to talk about what y represents as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw a rough sketch. It is not necessary to plug this into the calculator. We just need a rough sketch. Okay, so I've got the x-axis, and then somewhere I'll have the y-axis, okay? And basically, again, you don't have to draw anything accurate at all. You've got this downward opening parabola, so something that looks like this, okay? And you're after the max here, okay? All right, let's talk about what x represents and what y represents, okay? So if you read the question, okay, it says the profit that a vendor makes per day by selling X pretzels. Okay, so the x-axis, the variable x, is going to represent the number of pretzels. Okay, you need to be really specific when you're thinking of your variables. X doesn't just represent pretzels, okay, because if you say that, okay, what about the pretzels? Is it the number of pretzels? Is it the number of calories in a pretzel? There could be different meanings, so you want to be specific. Here, X represents the number of pretzels that are being sold, okay, because you've got this vendor. So the way this works, you're going to take an x value, which represents the number of pretzels. You would plug it into your equation, and you're going to get an output, which is y or p of x. Well, what does that represent? Well, p of x represents profit, okay? So basically over here, the y value, which is p of x, the output, it is representing profit, profit, okay? Profit is measured in dollars, okay? That's money, okay? So that's what is going on each axis, okay? X is representing the number of pretzels. You plug it into the equation, you get an output. That output represents the profit the vendor makes per day by selling that many pretzels. All right, so now that we know what variable represents what, we can address the question. Okay, so let me pick a different color here. Let me use this. Okay, the question that you're trying to answer, okay, it's usually in the last sentence. So here it says that we need to find, hang on, I didn't choose the right setting here. We need to find the number of pretzels that must be sold to maximize the profit. Okay, we've already addressed the fact that since we're maximizing here, we're after the vertex. So remember, the vertex is a point. The vertex has an x coordinate and it has the y coordinate. The question is, to answer the question, are you looking for the x coordinate or are you looking for the y coordinate? Well, when you read the question, which I have kind of highlighted in peach here, it says find the number of pretzels. Okay, number of pretzels, that's the x value. Okay, so to answer this question, we need to find the x coordinate of the vertex. Okay, if instead the question had asked you what was the maximum profit profit is the y value. So then in that situation, you would have found the y coordinate of the vertex. Okay, but here we're looking for the x coordinate. Okay, so all we need to do is apply the vertex formula. So we know the vertex formula is x equals negative b over 2a. That gives us the x coordinate only, and that's what we want. So we already know our a and b, so we can just plug those guys in. This is going to be negative 1.4, that's negative b, over 2 times a. A is negative 0.002. Okay, so let's pop this into the calculator. Okay, I'll go ahead and look at the denominator. The denominator is 2 times negative 0.002. Okay, that's going to be negative 0.004. Okay, so this is going to be negative 1.4 over negative 0.004. Okay, the negative divided by negative will become positive. Okay, and you can confirm that on a calculator. Negative 1.4 divided by negative 0.004. Okay, there's the answer. Okay, 350. Okay, so that's it. Okay, remember you need to use units since this is a word problem. Okay, don't just tell me 350. 350 what? Okay, well remember we were trying to calculate the number of pretzels. Okay, so 350 pretzels. Okay, that's the answer. We do not need to go a step further and calculate the profit because the question is only asking us for the number of pretzels. Okay, all right, going back to your picture, just to kind of summarize, we found that this vertex, okay, this vertex is located at 350. Okay, the vendor needs to sell 350 pretzels per day to maximize his or her profit. Okay, if you wanted to find the maximum profit, then you would just take the 350, plug it into the original function and get the output, but that is not necessary here because that's not what you're looking for.